Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, visiting Myrtle Beach Kia. And I'm checking out a 2017 Kia Cadenza in the premium trim level. Now this one has quite a few ads. It has the luxury package, which has a whole list of awesome stuff, including the blind spot detection, lane change assist, rear parking assist, all that good stuff. But it also has the panoramic sunroof added and a few other things. So let's go ahead and check it out. This Cadenza is sitting on 245, 45, R18 hand-cooked tires, wrapped around, two-tone, 15-spoke alloy wheels. Now this vehicle has four-wheel disc brakes with ventilated disc brakes in the front and solid disc brakes in the back. The name of this color is Aurora Black. And look at the finish on this vehicle. I love a black car when it's nice and clean and shiny. And check out all this chrome here on the front grille. You have that chrome accent around the outside and a concave grille. Really nice looking. Stands out. You don't see that on a lot of vehicles. And it also has like this pattern there in the center. It kind of has like an optical illusion, I guess you can say, with the larger triangle pieces there on the ends and then the narrower pieces there in the center. Really interesting front grille design. Now the headlights are in projector tubes for your high and your low beams. They're powered by halogen bulbs. You also have an LED accent around the outside serving as a daytime running light, and a halogen projector tube fog light there at the bottom. So this is what the key looks like, and it's a proximity key system. Very interesting key. It's smooth and shiny, and then it has these buttons right here, which is just a high quality looking key. So it has the lock and unlock buttons, as well as the ability to open up the trunk and a panic button. There's the Kia emblem on the reverse side there. Now it does have the ability to remove a physical key using this button right here to remove it, and that way, in case the battery goes dead, you can still access your vehicle. So as long as you have the key with you in your pocket or whatever, you walk up to the vehicle, and as you approach it, it welcomes you by opening up the side mirrors. So it senses the key within a close proximity of the vehicle, and it welcomes you in that way. Now to lock or unlock the vehicle, you just push this button. So I can unlock it, or I can lock it simply by pushing that one button. And when you lock it, the side mirrors will fold in. Okay, let's take a look on the inside of the passenger door, and wow, look at that. So you have a combination of all these different accents and colors. The main color is this tan right here, all soft to the touch, by the way, all around here as well as up here, and all the gloss black. And see how this is like a concave design right here in the door? Then you have these straight lines. Simulated wood grain looks fantastic right up in here with the metallic accent around the outside. Has the premium Harman Kardon sound system, and I like the way the speaker design, the grille looks pretty, it kind of matches the contour of the door. And then you have a bottle holder and a very large storage pocket there at the bottom. Alright, here's your threshold with the seal plate with the Cadenza name. And there we go, you can see a little bit there. Looks really classy when you open up the door. Then you have the power adjustable seat here on the passenger side with the leather trim seats in tan, and has a stitching on the end, and the perforations here in the center. Heated seats, by the way. Very comfortable seats too. So you have plenty of legroom here in the front with the floor mat that hooks in place, and just a very comfortable area. I mean, the dashboard is contoured there, just kind of gets out of your way basically. You also have a soft to the touch surfaces right here next to where your knee would go or whatever. And you see how that wood grain follows through into the dashboard. It also has a lockable glove compartment that's felt lined, and you're able to keep people from accessing the trunk with this little button right up in here, so like a valet mode or whatever. Behind the back seats you have these massive speakers, part of the audio system, and then the big subwoofer there in the center, and I'll show you the contours of those when we look in the trunk. But for now, let's take a look at the back seat area. Alright, so here's the inside of the back door, same styling, soft to the touch, all that good stuff. Here's your threshold area with a sill plate back here as well. Nice, comfortable, big bolsters here on the sides for the back seat drivers, and you know, the leather trim seats and all that. Plenty of legroom. I was impressed when I opened this door. I mean, even with the front seats all the way back, just a tremendous amount of legroom. You do have a slight hump there in the center, but nothing too bad. It is flat on top. That helps out a little bit. You also have a 12-volt power supply and a USB charger back here with your climate control vents. You also have an armrest. Pretty good size and comfortable soft armrest with some cup holders right here. And you do have a pass-through to go to your trunk area. Now the seats back here have the latch system or ISOFIX, so the car seats can be secured properly. Taking a look at the back of the vehicle, you have that chrome that goes all the way across, that chrome trim there, with the backup camera in the very center position right above the Kia emblem. You even have the Cadenza name back here as well. Parking sensors all the way across the back, these little round circles. You also have dual exhaust tips, chrome lined right there. And the taillights are a combination of LED and standard bulbs. So to open up the trunk, you can use the key, of course, or there's a button just under here. Just push it and it kind of pops open for you. Alright, so here's your trunk area. This one has the cargo mat in place. You also have the netting that you can put back here to kind of keep everything in place. There's your speaker. Basically the bottom of the speakers back here. It's all carpeted, which helps out. It doesn't have all this wiring and all that stuff hanging down. And then you have the like a little dome light back here. Under this mat you have your spare tire and tools back here, and of course you could probably use some of this space for cargo space if you wanted to. The fuel door is on the driver's side and it is lockable, and it's pretty traditional with the cap and little tether system and a place to hang it so it's out of your way. To start it up, all you have to do is have the key inside the vehicle, and you put your foot on the brake and hold it and push this button. Here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat, and you can see that the floor mat hooks in place in two places on this side to keep it straight and from sliding around on you. Also, you can see the accelerator and brake pedal. The accelerator has a pivot at the bottom, and that kind of keeps things from sliding underneath the pedal. You have a foot actuated parking brake there, and just behind it is a footrest, place to put your foot back there while you're driving. Especially comfortable on those long trips. You also have a knee bolster airbag under here as well. Okay, so let's take a look under the hood. To open the hood, there's a latch a little bit over here to the right of the center line. You just move it to the left and lift it up. It doesn't take much effort to lift it up, and it'll go up the rest of the way by itself. There's your latch right here. Alright, so let's take a look at the engine bay. You can see it's pretty much fully insulated there at the firewall, and the strut towers are braced by the unibody structure there. There's your battery there on the far right. Okay, so you can actually see some engine here, which is nice. It does have a plastic cover to try to cover it up, but you can actually see it, so joke's on them. They tried to hide it. So this is a V6. It's a 3.3 liter V6 with an aluminum block and head, so the entire engine is aluminum. It's a dual overhead cam with VVT, variable valve timing. Now it puts out 290 horsepower and 253 pound-feet of torque. And it's a direct injection engine. That's what the GDI, so that's gasoline direct injection is what it stands for there. Now it's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, electronically controlled automatic transmission. Taking a look at the driver's side door, now it's just like the other side except for it has a few more buttons. Really love that concave design, that's pretty neat. Okay, so you have all these buttons and automatic power windows here on the front. One touch up and down. Nice and smooth and slow. Also, I want to point out that this has the laminated glass. Kind of roll it down a little bit so you can see there's 2 panes of glass with an acoustic material on the inside to kind of help with strength, but also keep vibrations from sound from entering the vehicle. Alright, your door lock controls, your side mirror adjustments are here, and you can close the side mirrors. You can turn that to automatic or you turn that feature off. Here's your power seat for your driver as well as power lumbar adjustments there. Alright, so right in here we already saw the fuel door button, but here's the ability to open up the trunk. Traction control, you can turn that off if you want to. Default is always on. Now this vehicle has a blind spot monitor in which you can turn on and off there, and here's your gauge dimmer switch. It also has a tilt and a telescoping steering column. So we can go up and down. We can also go in and out. Here on the side mirror, there's a little indicator here which will light up, and that's part of your blind spot monitor system. So if a vehicle's in your blind spot, and when I say your blind spot, it could be from the side view mirror itself all the way back to 1 car length behind the vehicle. And there's actually a sensor right in here that will let you know if there's a vehicle in that area. Now, if you put your turn signal in the direction that there's somebody in your blind spot, it will not only flash, it'll also give you an audible warning. Now this system also is served for the cross path detection, rear cross path detection. So if you're perpendicularly parked, like those vehicles over there, and you're backing out of a space, you can't always see around the vehicles that are next to you. So this will let you know, using those sensors, if a vehicle is coming from either direction. Okay, let's take a look here on the inside. Really impressed with that wood grain going across the front. Kind of follows over from the door there. And just overall very comfortable. Have the seat adjusted, the lumbar adjustments and everything. Now the seat goes back quite a ways. I could put my legs completely straight out, and I would actually have to put the seat up a little bit to actually drive, but the knee room and everything's great. I mean, it's just a very comfortable vehicle, and the seat, the bolstering on the seat is very light. There's no intrusiveness whatsoever on that. So let's take a look at the steering wheel. And it has a leather wrap steering wheel, but it's a smooth texture. It doesn't have a like a rough kind of a you know, the typical leather texture. It's stretched out and smooth. Has a stitching here on the inside. It is soft to the touch and very perfect thickness. You know, it's not digging in your hands or anything like that. Alright, so it has quite a few buttons here, and here on the left side is your volume for your radio, and then you can push it in to mute, like mute the radio or whatever. Then you have your voice recognition. You have the ability to change the mode, like AM, FM, satellite radio, that kind of thing. This is for changing through your presets on your radio. And then you have, or your tracks, depending on what you're playing. And then down here is your Bluetooth controls, so you can answer calls, hang up. Here on the right side, you have your cruise control, so you can turn it on, set it, change through your speeds, cancel it here. And then these inner set of buttons correspond with this screen between the gauges, which we'll get to in just a second. There's your windshield wiper controls here on the right side. And on the left side is your turn signal as well as your headlight switch right here. So the headlight, you have off, automatic, parking light, and then your headlights. And then your fog lights can be turned on and off here. You can do it from the back or the front, so it's kind of neat. Okay, so here's your gauges, and you can see it's very simplistic. It has a flat black background with the white lettering, so this is ideal for your eyes to refocus, especially coming from the road or some bright sunlight. You can easily transition your focus to the gauges and get the information that you need. So here on the left side is your RPMs with your engine coolant temperature. On the right side is your speedometer with your fuel gauge. And you can see it has like this little kind of a red glow down here, which is pretty neat. And you see it there in the center of the dial. I wonder what that looks like at night. It probably looks pretty neat. Okay, so this screen between the gauges, right now it's showing your average fuel economy and instant fuel economy. Like, it'll show a little bar and numbers there, just kind of showing you what you're doing while you're driving. Now you can see it's showing average 1.8. That's because the vehicle, you know, it needs to be, you know, it's just sitting here and it was just recently reset. But so using these buttons here, just kind of show you what I'm doing here. So you have this menu button, selection, and then your back button. Using those buttons, I can cycle through and get some more information. So pushing the menu button, I can go to the navigation, which this vehicle doesn't have the SD card inserted, but if it did, you'll be able to get some information there as far as your direction of travel. And then your tire pressure, which will display while you're driving. It needs to be, the tires need to be rotating for it to get an accurate reading. And then you can go into your settings here and you can scroll down. You have doors, lights, sounds, convenience, all these different service intervals. That really helps out with like changing the oil, stuff like that. Then you can reset the factory. Alright. Then it goes back to your original screen. So you can see those four icons at the top is cycling through. You just rest on the one you want. You can notice that the odometer at the very bottom, 35 miles, and the exterior temperature, outside temperature, 42 degrees, quite cool today, stay in place. And you can go in there and change, you know, look at that information if you want, but it's not necessary. Okay, let's look at your center stack here. And at the very top, you have your touch screen. Now the dashboard is a soft to the touch dashboard. It's really, really nice. It has this French design stitching across the top. Okay, so you have a touch screen, but you also have some buttons down here to help you control it. So you have quickly go to your radio and media. You can seek your tracks there, and then you can go to the navigation, phone, UVO. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. UVO, and then you have setup there. So this is kind of like your home screen here, and it has a combination of your climate control information there and your satellite radio. Now you can customize this if you want to. You can go to all menus, and this will be kind of like an icon based selection. So you can go to your radio, music. Once you plug in a device, say to your USB port, it'll pop up there. So you're not able to go into anything like that until you plug something in. You can also play music through an auxiliary input as well as like a Bluetooth device as well. You can also look at images. So if you have images on a USB, you can put them on there as well. You also have access to Pandora, to where you can have like an internet-based radio system there. And you can also have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on this vehicle too, by plugging in the appropriate device into the USB port. You have your four-way flashers here, and your climate control here in the center with this pretty neat clock. It's like an analog clock. Now you have a dual zone climate control with your driver and passenger temperatures there on the ends, and you can adjust the fan speed, your front and rear defrosters here, air conditioning, and recirculate the air. Mode would be where you want the air to blow. And then your climate, you can push that button and you can actually see your information here on the screen on what you have it set on. You can also sync it. So right now it's sunk up. I think that's a word. And you can, so now it'll just, as I adjust the driver, both of them will adjust the same way. All you have to do to unsync it is either push the sync button again, or you just start adjusting the passenger side separately, and you see it unsyncs it, and that way they can, have their own temperature. Alright, so down here you have a traditional volume knob tuned through the stations there on the right side, and then look at there, it has a CD player. And then there's your buttons. Your SD card input is here, but that's for your navigation. You also have your SD card input here as well. Okay, so check it out. You have this gloss piano black surfaces down here, and then this opens up, and this is where you'll find two 12-volt power supplies, 180 watt, as well as an auxiliary and USB inputs, and they're all backlit so you can find them at nighttime. And then you have this little storage pocket right in here, so you can put your cell phone or whatever. You just push it again and it'll close up for you. Under this one is your cup holders, and it's also open on the inside here in the center, so you can utilize this space for more than just cups. Alright, so your drive mode, this is where you can make selections here as far as comfort, eco, sport, or smart. So you basically allow the vehicle to kind of choose for you depending on how you drive. So comfort will shift, easier and smoother. Eco is going to try to save gas, and sport is going to give you the highest performance with a little bit of a hit on the fuel economy. So let's go ahead and check out the shifter here, and it's let's go ahead and put it in reverse. So two things going to happen when you put it in reverse. First of all, your backup camera is going to pop up here with your active guidelines, which you can turn those on and off in the settings if you want to. And you can see it, you have visibility from the bumper all the way to the sky and all around. It's a wide angle view lens. The other thing that's going to activate basically is your parking sensors in the back. So as you back up, if something gets in the way, it's going to beep at you and let you know something's there, but it's also going to show up here on the screen and give you a little visual indicator on which direction the actual thing is that's in your way. Alright, continuing down, there's neutral, there's drive, that's your normal drive position, and then you can manually change through the gears by just sliding it over here. It's kind of like a ratchet shifter. So you just kind of bump it and change the gears that you want. Now, it will only go so far out of range. I mean, it is an 8-speed transmission, so right now I got it in second gear, but it's not going to let me go too far out of the. It's not going to let you mess up your transmission, basically. All right, so you have your heated seat controls here, and it's a 3-stage, high, medium, and low, and then off. Little storage pocket right in here. So here's your center armrest, and it is very soft and comfortable, and it's pretty much big enough for sharing with your passenger, I guess you could say. Depends on how generous you are, or how nice or not nice they are. And then you can lift this up, and you have just some little clips right there. Maybe put your registration or something in the top of underneath the lid. We also have this felt-lined storage compartment with this removable tray. So I could just take this tray out. It's pretty good size too. And you just have this felt-lined compartment, so you can put whatever you want in there. The rear view mirror is an auto dim rear view mirror, and it's actually auto dimming right now because I have the shade over the light sensor back here. Now you could turn that feature on or off using this button. It also has a digital compass up here, which you could turn on and off with this button. The HomeLink garage door opener controls are right in here. Alright, right up in here you have a place to put your shades, and it's like a felt, really soft, very soft felt lining on the inside, all around too. Alright, so you have turn your interior lights on there, or you could select an individual one, like so. You can also have it to where the interior lights will turn on with the door. You also have these little ambient lights that kind of illuminate the center of the vehicle, just softly illuminate the center of the vehicle at nighttime. I have to check that out. Hopefully I'll be able to do a night video soon on this vehicle, or one like it. So the visors have big mirrors and a little light that turns on when you open it up. It's pretty neat. They also have the ability to extend out, so you can get that perfect spot there on the side, because you know how the sun is, you got to protect your eyes. Okay, so this button is for your sunroof. So right now, let's take a look at this sunroof. It's a panoramic, so you have it all the way back. You have this back portion that's fixed, and then the front portion will be able to slide. So right now I have the shade all the way back. It does have a shade that blocks 100% of the light. So let's go ahead and open up the front here. So that's as far back as it goes. Let's go ahead and move it forward, and also move the shade forward too. So you can have the shade cover up the light 100% if you don't want any light coming in the vehicle. Okay, let's look at the visibility in the back. So you can see the headrests don't really obstruct too much back there as far as your rear visibility. And you have those little windows, slight little windows right there and there. And the pillars. Of course, you have the side glass and all that good stuff. Now, of course, you have the parking sensors, the backup camera, rear crosspath detection, and blind spot monitor system to help out as well. But it's always good to have direct visibility. Alright, so there you have it. 2017 Kia Cadenza. Pretty interesting vehicle. It's comfortable, it's roomy, has a lot of features, and this isn't even the highest one. I mean, you can get a bunch more if you want to. So anyways, thank you for watching, and thank you to Myrtle Beach Kia here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, for allowing me to show off another awesome vehicle, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm going to take a quick look at the window sticker, and you can use the pause button to get any information off of it that you want.